Thank you. Thank you for that dramatic introduction. The only thing it was lacking was a bit of music, a bit of intro music. But hey, we don't need that. We don't need that. How's everybody feeling tonight? Woo, yeah, woo. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. All right, so welcome to Betapitch Global 2016. My name is Adrian. I will be your host for this evening. So tonight is an important night because this is where all of the winners of Betapitch in all the other cities and countries come here to compete for the bragging rights to be the victor of Betapitch Global 2016. So it's a big deal. That's why I'm looking for a bit of excitement from you guys tonight. So over the next 2 hours, we're going to have 7 startups. It was going to be 8, but now it's 7. We'll battle it out for the glory to win and take that title away. Now, as I mentioned, this year, it's actually the biggest Betapitch yet. It's truly global. So since starting in Berlin in April, which seems a long time ago now, Betapitch has gone to Hamburg, Vienna, Tirana, Sofia, Cairo, Jönköping, Lisbon, Shanghai, Beijing, Nanjing, Shenzhen, and Jiashan. Each startup has 5 minutes to pitch their business idea to our judges down here. Now, afterwards, we have 3 minutes of question time for the judges to grill them and make sure that they know everything they need to know. The startups, they'll be judged based on 5 criteria: technology, disruptiveness, business model, team, and presentation skills. So they'll put all that together and then they'll make their decision. Who will make that decision? Good question. Those people would be our wonderful jury sitting in the front row. Don't clap yet. We introduce them individually. First of all, I'm going to try and drum this up a little bit as well. First of all, we have longtime Betapitch supporter, angel investor, co-founder of 23 and Nordic Makers, and according to Wikipedia, also the Prime Minister of Denmark from 1926 to 29, Thomas Madsen Migdal. You've aged wonderfully. Next up, we have another long-time Betapitch supporter, serial entrepreneur, co-founder of Alando.de and current CEO of Axel Springer Plug and Play, Jörg Reinbold. And next, this is new for me too, some of you, so it's good to see who's who. Next up, we have a senior investment manager at one of our sponsors, Hubraum. Enthusiast of innovative business models, and rumor has it he's a demon on the skateboard, Ralf Rieke. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Another one who's revolutionizing the steel industry through digitalization, a lover of all things disruptive and strategic controller at Klöckner, Carsten Lubert. And joining us all the way from Finland, a Finnish fintech company, which I like saying because it's got 2 Fs. She heads up the marketing over there. It's Elina Resenen. Eleanor. Okay, and coming all the way from the sunshine of California, he's the executive director at the Leicester Center of Entrepreneurship and the Innovation Acceleration Group at the University of California, Berkeley. That's a hell of a mouthful. Andre Marquis. He's not here? Okay, he's silent host tonight. We also have... This is the easiest name for me to pronounce tonight. From the City of London, Managing Director of RGA's Internet of Things Startup Accelerator, Matt Webb. And you've already seen him before on stage moderating. Carsten Lamb from Wired. And finally, there's a lot of jury tonight. That's 1 per startup, okay. And rounding out, we have from Siemens, Alper Alsan. Prizes, many prizes for many startups, and it's up to this front row of people to determine which startup gets which prize. Okay. Prizes. We have €5,000 cash brought to you by Hubraum. Hub in German, probably Hubraum, yeah? There's also a trip to Silicon Valley. That one's brought to you by Betahaus, so that's a pretty nice one. We got another team who's going to win 6 months of free workspace here at Betahaus, so they're going to join the Betahaus family for 6 months. Holvi are bringing us a founder's package of banking services from everyone's favorite Finnish fintech company. There's also another 3 months of co-working space and incubator services in any of the tech code spaces, I believe, who have spaces in Asia and Silicon Valley, Berlin, and Helsinki. So they're everywhere. This wave again, it's fine. And there's conference tickets for one startup goes to exhibit at the Web Summit in Lisbon. And finally, the last prize is one team wins a ticket to the React conference where world-class web and mobile developers meet. So that should be able to help them solve their tech co-founder issues. Okay, fantastic. So first up, we have Moritz from Nordic Adventurers coming at you from Jönköping. Make some noise, please.
All right. Great pleasure to kick this off. Thanks for that. My name is Moritz Witte, and I'm the CEO of the Swedish travel startup Nordic Adventurers. So if you look at the market for online booking of activities, there's one thing very obvious, and that is there's already a lot out there. What is not so obvious is something that is only coming to light when you ask some questions, and that is that all of these come with big drawbacks. Because we ask questions like, what if I don't want to go to a city, but to a place like that? What if I don't want to cruise around on a Segway like a human R2-D2, but actually want to do stuff that is fun? What if I'm not into museums, but into the beauty of nature? Well, this very sad answer to all of these questions is that you better really like Google reviews, Google research, because that's what you're going to have to do to find these activities and these experiences. And even if you're successful and you find a guide that you want to go with, well, most likely this person is right now in this moment out with their clients every day, all day, because these companies are usually very small. But let's say you're successful, you booked a guide in the wilderness somewhere, you're going to go to Lapland, Sweden, so you fly over there, then hopefully before you find out that this Lapland is not around the corner of Stockholm. It's actually 2 days drive away. So that's when you go back to Google to find out how the hell to get there. Well, the point I'm trying to state here is that outdoor tourism is not at all like urban tourism or mass tourism. It requires much more research, much more planning, and most of all, it's much less catered by online services. Which is kind of weird if you look at the numbers of the market. These come from a study conducted in 2014 by the World Travel Organization on adventure tourism. They're quite impressive, right? I'm going to jump right down here to our market. It's expected that every year 10 million people come to the Nordics to get active outdoors, creating 1.7 billion of a market. I know what all you're going to think right now. You think, how can all that be actually true, that these companies like Get Your Guide don't actually cater us? Well, let me give you an example. We tried to find out how many fly fishing guides in Sweden we find with Get Your Guide. Well, to make long story short, 0. So we went to fishing instead. And even there, the results were kind of shocking because the results show this, that the number one suggestion is actually not fishing, but a Stockholm Old Town culinary walking tour. And this is just one of many examples, because if you look at the other marketplaces, it becomes obvious that every single one has such major drawbacks that for us, we decided that all of them are completely useless for adventurists. So we wanted to see the other side of the coin. So we actually went to the operators and talked to them. And they said the same thing. They said that most of the booking platforms are so complex that they actually make more work than use. And that they actually don't get the performance because, you don't get niche travelers on mass products. It's just how it is. Another big problem is the anonymity of these platforms. If you look at the example of Vider, you only find out with whom you book after you booked. So that makes it impossible for small operators to actually brand themselves. So that's what we're going to do. We specialize on North only, on adventure only, and that way enable niche travelers to find niche guides and providers. So how do we make money? Well, we're a marketplace after all, so we live on commission. The good news is that the guides also told us that if we actually figure all that out and make it possible for them, they're happy to pay a bit more than the usual 15 to 20%. On top of that, they asked us, could you actually take care of all the social media stuff, TripAdvisor? Sure, we can. We can take care of everything you want to do online. And then we're going to install APIs of local accommodation and transport companies to give individualized suggestions to users of where to stay, how to get to places, and what else to see on the way. So where we are right now, pretty much here. We're going to launch our first version by the end of this year. First version that way because we're going to take the booking feature away in that one, and with databases that we conducted, upload a tool that allows you to plan and to search, and with that traction and some investment that we're gonna fund, turn it into a full version by mid next year. So this is our team. We're actually looking for a tech guy right now that is as committed to outdoor activities as we are, because we believe that's what it needs to really promote it the way we want to promote it. Well, there's one thing left to say. I know we don't do rocket science, but we definitely make everything a lot easier for everybody involved in this industry. My name is Moritz Witte. We are Nordic Adventures, and we don't do Segway tours.
All right. All right. You can't escape that quickly. There's a few questions now. So
always worth a shot.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 3 minutes on the timer, and the jury's got questions.
Thank you. My question is, how far are you different from a specialized travel agency?
Well, in the point of that, especially in the Nordics, where we are, we got things like Allemansretten, which allows you, to travel freely, camp wherever you want. So the Nordics are connected to a very special type of freedom and independence. So if I walk to a specialized agency, I probably get a strap package that sort of puts me into an itinerary. But most people that travel this way, like ourselves, we don't want that. We want to have this freedom of, do a bit of research, find the same stuff ourselves, compare it, and find the one that suits us the best.
Hi, Carsten. We have a question here, technology. Do you have any special technology? Because it sounds mostly like curation.
No, I wouldn't say we have a special technology. I got some ideas on how, for example, how to implement augmented reality in the future to enable tourists to, test stuff virtually before they actually book it. So we got some features that are much more techy, but in the basic version, I wouldn't say no.
So talking about content, where's it coming from? So is it just from you, like your own tours, or how does it scale?
No, well, we don't actually, we don't have own tours, right? So we build a platform for people that offer tours to promote themselves there, to sell them there. It's going to scale in the sense that I say, I don't like that most people or most platforms that do something similar go global, because I believe that takes the diversity away of the location where you actually work. Then you're not an expert of anything if you have a bit everywhere, but nobody can choose. I want to scale in the sense of that I want to stay in the north. So you got Alaska, Canada, Russia. These places I could imagine to take into Iceland as well, of course.
Is there other measures to curate, or like how do you do quality checks and so on?
Yeah, we do quality checks by the way that we, for example, say we don't do peer-to-peer. We do only companies. Whenever you sign up to the homepage, we check up on your previous rankings. Are you in TripAdvisor? Are you a new company? And then we might even meet you as well or send testers to you as well.
Okay. I love that you're already talking to providers. It's incredible how many startups don't talk to their customers before they build the product. Do you have a special way of finding more customers and more providers for the tours?
You mean finding more providers, or
to come onto the platform, because that will be your hardest thing.
Yeah, I think what you have to understand is, again, so because of that, we want to talk to the first customers we have as well, where to pick them up, right? Because they're very much in a niche. So what we actually want to do is we want to find, classic magazines or other platforms where we find these people. One thing is, forums as well, bloggers. It's actually, can I finish that? No?
It's a harsh world, but we have to be fair to everyone.
I know.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Another big round of applause, please. All right. Whoever gave me 2 mics is going to regret it. Next up, we have Anthony from Horde. Please make some noise. Representing Hamburg.
Hello. Now I'm saying thank you because they tell me watch as the bomb explodes.
We go. Anthony, CEO of Horde. We enable instant e-commerce delivery with the push of one button. But I need a clicker. Great. So the market we are addressing is last mile logistics, a market worth more than 70 billions of euros. And this is how it works so far. A delivery truck picks up a delivery outside of the city from a warehouse and delivers it point to point from customer to customer. And very often what happens is that the delivery trucks misses you because we are not at home, we're busy, we're working. In those cases, couriers get quite creative. I'm going to give you some examples of hideouts they come up with. A very nice one like this, very convenient like that one on the top of your roof. Here there was not that much effort made to hide the parcel. And in the worst case, this fella discovers the hideout and your parcel is food. We are here to change this. We built a logistic network for instant delivery, enabling with our app local shops to become pick points and store parcels. And on the other hand, we enable people in the neighborhood to become couriers to pick up parcels from the shop and deliver them to the end customer. This is how the system looks like with Horde. In the first step, the parcel gets delivered close to the end customer to a shop nearby. And in the second step, a courier close to that picks up the parcel and delivers it to the end customer. This enables a great customer experience where the customer is in full control of the parcel. You can imagine you come home from work and the only thing you have to do is to trigger the delivery is to push a button in our app. And the next thing which happens instantly is that the parcel gets picked up in the shop nearby and transported within 20 minutes to your doorstep. But this is not the only use case which works on our network. There's another great opportunity, which is vacation rental for hosts. Example, Airbnb. You can imagine they get a safe place where they can drop off their keys, where they can conveniently check in their guests. This is our business model, very simple. On the one hand, vacation rental hosts get a safe place to store their keys and the possibility to check in their guest remotely at any time for only €3. On the other hand, e-commerce companies can offer within their checkout a very convenient delivery option which enables them to increase their conversion rate, but also to increase the customer value with their existing customers. And this for only €4. On the bottom, you're going to see how our partners benefit from this system. So the shops which are becoming pick points, they benefit from additional footfall in their stores and from a flat fee of 50 cents per item they store. On the other hand, couriers who pick up parcels and deliver them from the shop to the end customer benefit from very short distances and a flat fee of 50 cents of €2, which they deliver when they deliver the parcel to the end customer. Here you see our development so far. We are live now in 15 cities with more than 200 pick points in Europe, and we are growing extremely fast. Only in the last month, we added 60 new pick points to the system. Here you see our revenue with one single pick point, and you see that in the last 2 quarters, we made more than, in each quarter, we did make more than €1,000 of revenue, and with a revenue margin of more than 80%. And we have great partners who are going to help us not only to multiply the revenue we make per pick point, but also which will help us to scale that network to make Horde a multi-billion-dollar company. There's first Airbnb, which has a potential of 37 million guests per year, which could be checked out with Horde. And we are already integrated on the platform. Second, we're also working with Metro. They're helping us to reach potentially up to 21 million shops in over 25 countries over the world. And last but not least, there's Zalando. Zalando has a potential of 55 billion parcels, which get delivered per year. And we're starting a prototype with them in the next weeks. This is the team who's going to make that happen. I'm an ex-KPMG consultant and have more than 5 years experience in last mile logistics, working or realizing last mile logistic projects not only in Germany, but also in Europe.
Everyone wants to run away.
Want to run away, yeah.
They're not that scary, right? We got 3 minutes on the clock, and judges, fire away.
Yeah, okay. You haven't talked about your competition. What's the competitive landscape out there?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of competition, but there's no logistic company who's crowdsourcing both elements which is necessary to deliver that customer value which we are offering. Like that instant delivery solution, therefore it's necessary to have on the one side a storage quite close to the customer and then a crowdsourced logistic capacity. And I mean, you have like Postmates in the US, for example, who's doing like courier deliveries, but they don't have our USP, like the storage, the warehouse practically, close to the customer. So we have a big advantage on that point. And then on the other hand, you have like the Hermes package shops or the DHL package shops, but they are lacking that crowd logistic capacity, and it's not in their DNA to build up such things.
Okay, thank you.
So how do you scale this really fast? Maybe I have 2 questions. So how do you scale this, and where do you see your product in the future in your company? So what's coming after this, or?
We think that e-commerce is like the market we have to tackle, and there are no more use cases which we are counting on right now. So we use that Airbnb use case to build up our network. That helps us because we don't have a critical mass. We can build up the network in different cities slowly, and next step is that we're going to focus solely on e-commerce deliveries. The market is already big enough. There's no need to go for other use cases. And we saw when we talked to e-commerce companies that they are super excited by that instant delivery option because they understand they have super high customer acquisition costs, and for them it's very important to give their customers control over the whole delivery experience because this makes the customers come back. Welcome.
No other questions? 53, 2, 1.
I would like to learn a bit more about the validation process. How do you validate the pick points? How do you make sure that no keys are lost? Yeah.
There are basically 3 steps. So it's quite data-driven, our whole sales process. First, we collect data from TripAdvisor, from Yelp, so on, and there we already have ratings. So we already have a database where we can pull ratings off. Second, we personally talk to the spots when we onboard them, so we get a feeling from them, and then we constantly collect data about the experience users have with that spot. So we can make sure that they're reliable and they fulfill the service like we want to.
All right. Thank you very much. Please make a big round of applause for Anthony from Hope. You want that? All right. Next up, we have Manuel from Viable Report, and he's representing Lisbon, Portugal. Welcome to the stage, Manuel.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank Betapitch and Betahaus for hosting the event. My first time in Berlin. I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to introduce to you Viable. Dating is hard. Investing doesn't have to be. So why do we say this? Because we actually think that there's a parallel between a normal relationship and a relationship that an entrepreneur has with an investor. So an investor looks at the ecosystem and it's full of ideas, full of possibilities. But he already knows that only a few ideas will match his criteria, like this one or that one. But to go through this process and to really grab only the ideas that are a match with your investment criteria is quite hard. So we thought, isn't there a solution to make this process a lot faster and a lot more efficient? And that's what we think we've achieved with Viable Report. So what is Viable Report exactly? So on one side, you have the investors. On the other side, you have the entrepreneurs. So the investor parameterizes a Viable Report, which is kind of like a smart form. The entrepreneurs fill all the questions. Then we have two other sources of input. We have big data sources and machine learning algorithm. And all of these three things in conjunction, they form a score. So we think that this is something that can really increase efficiency and increase opportunities in this ecosystem while reducing uncertainty and reducing risk. So now let's imagine that you have all of these ideas and they are potential startups that they want to pitch to you. So the process of receiving all that information is usually a mess. So this is what happens with Viable Report. So all of the ideas get automatically sent into 3 columns. You have deny, review, and accept. So these are the ideas that maybe you've mentioned that you want to have 3 founders. They only have 1 or 2. Or they are not in the intended industry that you want. So this one are ones that they match kind of your criteria, but then you can always click on the ideas individually and see all of the information there. And these are the ideas that really have a match with what you're looking for. So this is not the only product we are developing. So we also have Viable Network. So once you've selected the ideas that really are a match with your investment criteria, you can create cohorts inside Viable Network and share that idea with other investors. Each investor has his own Viable Report, so he will be the one saying if that idea is viable for him or not. So after this process, you also have Viable Insights, which is the 3rd product for investors. Here, with all the information that we are circulating inside of the platform, we can get analytics. So we can know, for example, that in Portugal, fintech, we know the average metrics, customer acquisition cost, retention rate, burn rate, and even Viable Report strengths. So where in this region are the startups have more strengths or more weaknesses? So this is our business model. It's a subscription model. We start off with a freemium where you can start with not paying anything, but you only get 5 Viable Reports a month. Then you have a business angel package, a micro VC package, and VC package. Each one of them incorporates more products, so of course it's more expensive. But we still think that even the cost of this one is lower than having to pay for a junior analyst to analyze thousands of ideas. So this is our market. We are targeting more angels, business angels and micro VCs. This is also our roadmap in terms of target. We also would like to target entrepreneurs because they're a huge market. But at the moment, we're still focusing on the core of our idea, and we are focusing here still on a B2B strategy. So this is Viable, and of course, you probably know a couple of the players here. But we think that automation, you can really see it, but everyone talks about automation and Industry 4.0 and AI and things like that, but we don't really see it in the entrepreneurship business itself. So we see that Mattermark and CB Insights are starting to come up with some things, but we are focusing more in this sort of market where no one is really tapping into automation. So this is our roadmap. So we started with the idea during the MBA, we incorporated the company, and we are now looking for a seed investment stage to fund these 3 products. They are prototype, but they're not developed yet. So we already have traction. We are working with 3 companies. And this is the team. So this is me. I'm a communication designer and with an MBA from Lisbon MBA MIT. Jaime Paradis is my colleague. We started the idea together. This is Jose Garcia. He's a PhD. He's a CTO, PhD in software engineering. And we are a team of 5, also with Alejandro and Carla. We have an advisory panel helping us with everything that we need help with. And that's our product. Thank you.
All right. And you're not running away. Okay, so as soon as we get the 3 minutes up, then we'll go into question time. Okay, go.
Thanks for the presentation. How do you get the data into the system?
The data? It's the, imagine you're an investor, you create a program, a call, and then you put it in social media, you put it on your website, and then that's the process for the entrepreneurs. They click on it, and then they go through the process. I have here some backup slides that show, so this is the Viable Report for entrepreneurs. They have, the information is segmented into different regions for the investor also to know where the company's strengths and weaknesses.
Thanks for the presentation. I wanted to ask, what is your strategy for user acquisition first, and then secondly, from the freemium model towards paying model? What do you think what is the strategy behind that?
Okay, the first question, sorry?
For acquiring users in the first place, and then secondly, to get those users from using freemium model to actually pay a monthly fee.
So we are still looking for investments, so we are bootstrapping a little bit at the moment. But for example, I came here to this competition. Our CEO is currently now in San Francisco, and our CTO is in Spain. So we're trying to go into these ecosystems, talking with people, like I've done here during this day, explain about the product, and we're also putting a little bit, starting now, our digital marketing funnels. But at this point, we don't have a lot of money to really fine-tune which are the best channels for us. But because we only have our MVP for 2 months. So we're trying to go as fast as we can. Regarding the second question, what we're trying to do is not create any sort of bottlenecks to be able to get critical mass in both sides, in terms of the entrepreneurs and in terms of the investors. So we're trying to get them hooked in terms of having all of the information in only one place, and for entrepreneurs having only one spot to be able to select investors and send their idea. And when we get a little bit of critical mass, that's when we hope that the extra features in the paid subscriptions will make our customers jump to the paying subscription model.
How did you come up with the 1,400? And second, have you thought about success-based models?
Yes, we thought about it, but it's kind of like a compromise, because if you are earning based on success, then it might create an ethical problem. And like this, what we're doing is we have this marketplace, but we don't take any sort of commission. We are not interfering in any way. So we give the possibility and the tools for things to work out, but then we are not the ones getting in contact with the startups and saying you have a match here, you have a match there. So it's a playground only for investors and for entrepreneurs.
Is there a feedback loop in the system?
What do you mean by feedback loop, sorry?
The investors who are using your platform giving feedback to you about startups?
Yes, yes. What we've tried to do is... gonna run out of time.
Saved by the bell.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coming up now, first after the break, we have our team from Cairo, Hassala, and Renard will be presenting to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Renard Ibrahim and I'm representing Hassala for tonight. Hassala is an Arabic word which means a piggy bank for collecting money. But before introducing Hassala, let me give you some facts about the world that we are living in. Do you believe that in 2016 we have 850 million people that live in extreme poverty? Over than 100 million youth lack basic literacy skills, and 6 million children dies every year before the age of 5 because of health problems. These are only 3 out of 17 goals set by the UN in order to transform our world by the help of social community. Fortunately, we have 10 million NGOs who are working on ground, trying to help the world, and they are lacking of fund. And on the other hand, we are having 270 million donors who are willing to help. However, this connection is not complete. This is due to 3 main problems. First, awareness. People lack awareness. As the number of NGOs increases, it's coming harder for people to find the needs that they believe in, and even harder for them to track the updates and the updates of their donation. Second, selectivity. In the MENA region, it is not supported by the already existing donation platforms to donate to special cases inside the NGO. We can donate to the whole NGO as an entity. And finally, tracking our donation. People get lost. After donating, they got shut down, and they don't know the impact of their contribution. Because we believe that donation is not about transferring money from one individual to another. it is more than this. We are introducing Hassala. Hassala is an online platform for donation, focusing on the whole experience of donors. We can do so by letting the user discover each type of NGOs and the causes inside each NGOs, selecting your NGO, directing your donation inside this cause, and track your donation to feel the impact and change you are doing. Hassala builds a positive interacting social community between donors and NGOs. Not only this, Hassala is simple. Anyone can donate by one click, any place and any time using your smartphones. And Hassala is informative. It gives the user info about all NGOs and causes inside it. Not only this, but it gives the user, it gives the NGOs statistics and demographics about its user interactions. Our target group, we are targeting 35 million people from the MENA region. Those are people who have a history in giving and also using smartphones. What the user can do in Hassala, he can navigate throughout all NGOs and causes inside it. And he can see details about a cause, target, and progress of milestones. And for the first time in the MENA region, we are introducing one-click donation through direct billing from the user mobile plan, because credit cards are not widely used there. How we will keep the user connected with us? It will be connected through constant updates and notifications. Hassala gets 4% from each transaction fee, and we also opened our doors for sponsorships. And finally, we are having check and donation fees, which is a coming soon features. Our competitors are Madad, Basita, and Mega Khair in the MENA region, but how Hassala is unique, Hassala is offering an interactive platform between the user and the NGO to donate through mobile donation for a specific cause. This is our team. Each member in our team are having experience in the giving and volunteering. Not only this, but we also have the knowledge to build the application. We have one mobile application launchpad competition powered by Google and the MIT, and also we were featured Innovation Week in Rome. Why we are here? We are here because we are looking forward for partnership and investor to support European donations in the MENA region by Hassala. This is not going to be a normal device. This is going to be a connection between a human and another one. Thank you. May I welcome my colleague Sherif Fauzi? Okay.
The team coming off the stage to answer questions. I think that's okay. Okay, questions. Jetzt geht's los.
Sorry. How many NGOs do you already have on the platform?
Now we are going in the platform in the MENA region. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Right now we're starting with Egypt. In Egypt we have alone about 45,000 NGOs. We started talking with the largest NGOs in Egypt. For instance, a hospital called 57 It's one of the largest cancer hospitals for children in the world. And we talked with several other NGOs to start validating the model and start subscribing them to the application. We have already finalizing the partnerships with them, and we're already in the phase of finalizing the mobile payments through the mobile operators.
Very interesting project. What I find myself wondering, though, is do you have any insights into how often people donate, how much, so that they would even look for an app like this?
Okay, so we use the statistics from different apps and different platforms where people donate in Egypt and in MENA region. Usually their donation is about 10 euros per year, which in Egypt it's equivalent to about 100 Egyptian pounds. Their donation is made every 2 months. But when researching and when asking people why is it this way, because they cannot feel their impact or they don't know what happened with their donation. Also, they donate to an NGO as a whole, but not to a specific cause. For instance, like NGO works on hundreds of projects. So you donate to the hundreds of projects and not to a certain project that you are touched by or you have a certain goal to donate to.
Sorry, just a quick follow-up.
Yeah.
But this is, the idea is to have use this as an app or as a mobile website, or
no, It's a mobile application based on Android and on iOS. We finished the Android application and we are finalizing the iOS app.
Why not simply make it available as a mobile website?
Because
we focus on micro donations. For the moment, we are focusing on micro donation, and because the use of credit cards is not widely used in the MENA region. That's why we are focusing on the mobile credit.
Got it, thanks.
Can the users push the NGOs to form projects?
The user push the NGO to form project?
We are looking forward to this feature after 2 years. Here, 2018.
Okay.
So in 2018, we are looking forward into funding personal projects from people where the credibility of such projects are validated by the NGO itself. So we're looking to expand first with the NGOs and validating the model, then expanding to personal projects and maintaining the credibility of the platform.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers. Okay, then next up we have Elise from IT for Equality coming to you from Tirana, Albania. Make some noise, please.
Hello everybody, my name is Elise and I am from Albania, a small country with 3 million people and such a culture. I really love my country, I love it a lot, but this doesn't mean that this country doesn't have like real problems. And one of the biggest problems that I want to discuss about is discrimination of people with disabilities. And we have to talk for this problem because we discriminate a lot people that are paralyzed. If we watch someone in a wheelchair in our daily life, we think to ourselves that, look, he is weird. Because we have taught to divide people into two groups, the normal ones that are like us and the weird ones which are paralyzed and don't have the ability to do normal things like we do. But we should stop this barrier because it's not fair. And we should think about them. If we talk statistics, in Albania there are more than 100,000 people that cannot walk, and this number is going to increase more and more every single day. And if we want to describe their life in 4 pictures, this would be the best picture to describe it. And be careful. This is not only in Albania, this is everywhere, even here in Berlin. Everywhere in the world, they suffer from bad infrastructure and everything that gets in the middle of the way. But we have to find a solution to stop this barrier and to make their life easier and more beautiful. But what should we do? We offer you IT for Equality, our team. What we basically do is we take a simple wheelchair and we transform it into a smart wheelchair. Yes, you heard me right. We take a simple wheelchair and we transform it into a smart wheelchair. But the question is how we do that. First of all, we are going to implement a joystick and an electric motor to make the change from a simple wheelchair to an electric one. Be careful, we are talking about an electrical one. We are not talking yet about the smart one. Up until now, with the joystick, we can control only the movement. But what if we implement proximity, temperature, and humidity sensors, and all of these are in the chipset that we are going to be installed and controlled by a wireless remote, and it is going to be controlled in our smartphone that is implemented on the other side of the wheelchair, and we can download our application that will support all these sensors. But why do we need these sensors? Because this is the interface of our application. First of all, as we can see in the animations, we have proximity sensor. All these sensors improve the safety of each individual that sits in this wheelchair. For example, as we can see, the proximity sensor feels when an obstacle is in front of us, and we can choose whether we want to stop automatically or automatically avoid. Also, another feature is alarm pill reminder. So every time we need to put a reminder in our medicine, just there is there for you. Yes, of course. We have also offline maps and the GPS integrated in the board. And the special thing about this map is that this map has also the best streets for paralyzed people with the best infrastructure so they can move easily in their way. And also, another thing is the weather alert. Every time it's raining, the surface is wet, we get warnings in our phone, like be careful, it's raining, so we can avoid accidents. And the last but not least, for entertainment, we have put an online playlist depending on your mood. I know that you have here Spotify and Pandora, but in Albania this application don't exist, so we have to steal music somehow. But this way is this way is totally free. We can listen and make commercial of these singers. Okay, we talked about the safety features. We talked about everything that includes the safety, entertainment, making their life easier and making their life beautiful. But what about the budget, the serious stuff? What about the cost? And the cost is directly connected with the question, why us? Because after studying the market, we came in conclusion that our unit is going to cost 350 euros, and we are going to sell this service for 500 euros. And a modern wheelchair in the international market costs 3,000 euros. So we can make a comparison between 500 euros and at least 3,000 euros. So we offer you a solution. You just have to trust us. IT for equality, make your life easier, make your life beautiful. These are the team members, me, Blenda, and Erbara.
All right. Good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sure there's some questions coming up. So, knocking over bottles, but questions first.
Yeah. So thank you for the pitch. How do you plan to get the maps that make really sense for people in wheelchairs?
Well, actually, we have cooperated with a startup with the winner of last year's startup, and we have cooperated with them. They let us, with their copyrights, they let us use their app in our app. So
who are you selling to?
Well, actually, we are selling to everybody. I know that this is too general, and I will give you a more specific thing. First of all, we have hospitals, elderly houses, and when I said everyone, is because everyone who needs a wheelchair and can't afford this wheelchair that costs at least $3,000 is free to come to us and say to us, please, this is my simple wheelchair, modify it and make it smart.
Thanks.
This exists as a prototype, or what's the current status of your development?
In my school, we have a robotic class, and we started 3 months ago this project. Up until now, we created all these sensors and implemented in our wheelchair, in our simple wheelchair. It's like a prototype. Well, I could get all these sensors here, but I had problems in the airport, so I cannot demonstrate you all those sensors, how they work. But we have planned that in the next 6 months, this prototype, the first prototype, would be alive, and I can demonstrate you that if you give me the opportunity.
How are you going to protect your IP on this?
Sorry?
How are you going to protect your intellectual property on this solution?
Well, actually, it's nothing to be protected, because we are selling a service. Actually, everyone could offer a service, and we have our way, our price, and our conditions. Everyone is free to make the same thing as we do with their prices, as long as they don't interfere in our patents. For example, we have the copyrights of the maps, and nobody can use them. As long as the other indicators and other parts of the build, they are free for everyone to get. The real thing is to build it and to have professionals.
Have you asked anyone about the price? Is it a good price?
About the price? Yes, about this thing. I know that many people here can't afford even this $500, even though the price is reduced. But in the future, we are planning to make different donations from non-profit organizations and to make the opportunity that even those people that can't afford this 500 reduced price to have one of these. So this is in our future plans.
All right, thank you. Okay. Next, we have the representative from all of the 4 or 5 cities in China. This was the winner out of Beijing. It's very difficult with all these things in my hand. Feng Yang from OpenTech is about to present for you guys. Make some noise, please.
Okay, hello, I'm Feng Yang from OpenTech. Our vision is to reinvent future interactions. This is how we play with our toys in the past. We play with action figures, sand, and Lego pieces, and actually this is still how our kids are playing with toys today. The toys themselves are static, dead. We move them with our hands, and then all the action happens in your imaginary world. You imagine how they're fighting for boys where the explosions are. But in the future, I think you will allow your kids to play with the same toys, but they will get an upgrade. Using spatial augmented reality, we project dynamic imagery to any surfaces and objects. So with the same toys, they get all the actions happening in the same time with natural interaction. To show what I mean, I'm here showing you 2 short raw footage of our tech demos. This is a regular sandbox. You can shape the sand with your own hand, and then we project image on it, colors to show, and the formation of the terrain, which is updated in real time according to your action. And then we introduce a boat, a sailboat, into the scene with a Lego piece, but unfortunately it's stuck on an island. We clear the island for it and drive it using hand gestures so it can follow the arrows to collect all the treasures in the ocean. I'll skip to the next one. This is a flat platform with white regular Lego pieces on it, and we recognize all the buildings and project a cartoon city onto all the houses and the flat ground. We recognize that there's an empty block and ask the user to build and put in a residential house. Then it triggers a storyline. Someone comes out of the building and fell ill, unfortunately, on the road. And then we ask the user to build a hospital. And we recognize that it's in, and it sends out an ambulance. The user can direct the ambulance to pick up the patient and then bring it back to the hospital. This is a simple tech demo, but to show that we are basically in real time reconstructing the scene in 3D and using machine intelligence and deep learning to segment out the objects and recognize what they are, how they are placed, and then trigger storylines built into our engine. The reason we're interested in toys market with our technology is because it's the traditional toy market is shrinking. Last year, it went down by 0.4% from 84.1 billion. Whereas AR toys is a rising thing. In 2014, it only accounts for 1.72 billion US dollars, but it's projected to grow by a lot by 2020. Some of the big names are already trying to upgrade your toys, including Activision, Disney, Lego, and Nintendo. But the way they're doing it is to put your action figure on your game console and the corresponding character appears in your game in your TV monitor. It's vastly different from how we are doing it by projecting the game environment or the educational environment directly around your game, around your toys and materials. this is our core team. We have three co-founders. We have a guy from Berkeley too, but we found each other at Harvard in Boston. Lei Yu got a PhD in applied physics. Jia Meng is our designer. He graduated from the Graduate School of Design at Harvard and worked at various design agencies. I myself got a PhD in computer graphics, and my research focus was in computer vision, graphics, and virtual reality. In the early days, we started to test our prototypes and ideas with collaborators, including preschool kindergartens, K-12 educators, and course providers in China, and also toy manufacturers on the upper left corner. The feedback has been very good. All kids and educators are excited about this technology and what they can do. We've already sold 2 systems to a middle school and are close to signing contracts with 6 more organizations. We started building our prototype in April, and closed our. Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks.
So now it's open to questions, which I'm sure the jury will have some, and the 3 minutes is going now.
Okay, thank you for the pitch. Who are your customers, and how much will it be, the product?
Well, we are doing it in 2 stages. Here, first we're doing a B2B strategy where we sell these systems to educators, schools, and sell entire courses to collaborators, which they can then sell to schools. But that's only the first stage where we are perfecting our technology and also trying to build an engine where you can see here our software is split into 2 parts. One is our core engine, which builds all the 3D reconstruction and machine intelligence into it. And we are tapping into a huge reserve of game developers using our SDK so they can easily develop games and educational materials with our engine. And also, for the next step, we're developing a smaller device, which will be like a lamp you can put on your desk or any other surfaces for gaming play at home. And we already found collaborators with smaller depth sensors and projectors, and to cut down the cost for a family-type device.
More question?
I'm still trying to understand. Children playing with this need some kind of goggles, or?
Oh no, that's the good part of this. It's not like other AR technologies. You don't need a tablet or like HMD to view this. It's directly projected onto a surface from a projector. It's augmented the 3D surface. Like if you have an empty building, we'll project all, the sides of the building onto it, and it's dynamic. So everybody in the room can see it with their naked eye and interact in the space naturally using hand gestures and body gestures. So they don't have anything attached to their body to play with it.
And the system crashes when 3 kids try the same thing at once? Or how do you handle a whole bunch of hands going in? And
yeah, actually that's like the segmentation of hands is one of the problems we encountered in the early days. Now we can track 5 hands at the same time, unless they closely overlapped, like they're shaking hands together, then it won't be possible. But otherwise, we're tracking the 12 poses, full poses of 5 hands.
Last question.
I've used systems like this before. It's crazy fun. So,
Thanks.
have you thought about applications which aren't games, like teaching people how to cook?
10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, sorry. Yes, I've seen a cooking device. It's not like they don't do 3D recognition or like 3D reconstruction. They project.
Sorry.
Let's discuss later.
All right, thank you. All right. This is our last pitch. Oh. All right, I hope you're ready for the last one, rounding it out before the break, before the jury go to their room to make important decisions and we go and mingle and have some more drinks and get ready for the announcement. The last one is Miroslav from Office R&D from Sofia. Please make a big round of applause.
Can I kick it?
Hi everyone, I'm Miro from Office R&D, and we're building a beautiful workspace management platform. There is a lot of a buzz around what will be the future of the workspace, and most of the commercial real estate research centers in companies like Cushman & Wakefield and CBRE agree that the future of the workspace is flexible and collaborative. And there is actually a very good reason for that. More and more companies are looking for flexibility when it comes to office space terms, so they want to grow or shrink and pay only for the services that they use. And at the same time, small and big organizations are trying to find a way to actually collaborate together, work together, and create businesses together. That's why we see a massive, huge growth of the search term coworking. Coworking is exactly the type of workspace that brings together flexibility and collaboration. We also see a massive growth in the companies that are actually doing coworking, like the multi-billion US dollar company WeWork, or the biggest provider in the UK, Centerworking, and of course our hosts, you have Betahaus in Europe. But actually managing a co-working space is extremely tough job. So you have to take care of all the members, membership contracts, payments, billing, meeting room reservations, and a whole lot of other systems. So it's very easy to end up in a spreadsheet hell. At the same time, the operators of the co-working spaces need to find a way to stimulate collaboration between the members. That's why we built a co-working space management platform. First, we start with completely automating the whole building. So imagine a 7-8 floor building in central London that is fully automated. So the members can purchase memberships online, pay for it, get access to the door through an app, get automated access to the Wi-Fi, and et cetera, and et cetera. And also receive their bills, of course. And after that, we provide them with the tools for a web and online so that they can actually learn more about the community, get in touch with them, book conference rooms, see their profiles, and so on. Of course, we provide really a lot of value for our customers, the co-working operators, so they can build better and bigger communities. Also, we improve a lot their efficiency and flexibility and save them cost and increase actually their revenue. Our current target is the flexible co-working world, which is growing extremely fast. So currently there are about 10,000 co-working spaces around the world, but they're projected by Cushman & Wakefield to be more than 50,000 in 2018. But of course, our vision is to go way beyond that, as we want to bring our technology in the corporate world, the tech parks, business parks, etc. We have a couple of competitors, but all of them lack one feature that we are killing it. It's the very beautiful space visualization, where you can see all the desks, what's free, what's occupied, who sits where. And also our user experience is so much better than the others. We are actually having a very typical business model. It's a cloud-based solution, so we charge per active member. We are a very strong product-oriented team, a good mixture of engineers and co-working experts. Basically, we have Jess in our team, and she was managing one of the biggest spaces in the States. Also, we have a couple of extremely good advisors that are experts in workspace and co-working, like Ben and Inga. So far, we have more than 20 paying customers, and these are probably the second biggest space in the States, called Rock. Also, of course, Betahaus Sofia, and the second biggest provider in New Zealand, Generator, the second biggest provider in the UK, Centerworking, and a whole lot more are already in the pipeline. Our vision so far is to become the leader in the co-working world, with more than 300,000 members very soon by the end of next year. And after that, we want to hit and bring flexibility into the corporate world. Thank you.
Thank you, Miroslav. Well, by now, I'm sure you know the drill of what happens next. So, what is it? Questions? Go, questions. No questions. Oh, here we go. Microphone.
What do you need to beat your biggest competitor?
Sorry, what?
What do you need to beat your biggest competitor in this market?
Well, so far we actually beat them. It's funny, but we managed to steal customers from each and every one of our competitors. And so far our product matured so that we are kind of ready to really beat them. And they've been on the market for like 5-7 years so far, and we are 1.5 years.
Do you have another killer feature apart from the better user experience?
Yes, so we are the only one that actually have a real space visualization. So it's a full interactive space map, like a floor plan, where you can click on the desk, see who sits where, actually booked desk if you want to, and etc.
I'm just wondering whether that's enough for a sustainable competitive advantage.
Well, that's a very good question. It's not enough. The other thing that we really try to do is to provide complete automation. So we bring together between 5 and 10 different softwares so that you get everything from the door access, the Wi-Fi access, the billings, accounting, and the whole lot into a single place. And so far, we're the only one trying to go that far.
Is WeWork a customer of yours?
No, actually, we are trying to do exactly this type of technology and bring it to the other co-working spaces. So, of course, they are a technology company, so they won't buy software unless they buy the whole company.
So are there any features or products planned to increase the customer bucket? Because even if you have like 300,000 users by the end of next year's times, what was it, $4 per user, it's not really a venture case. So
yeah,
what is in your plans to maybe increase this?
First, of course, when you have that many they're not our customers, but they are members of the system. Of course, we will find a way to monetize this. There are plenty of opportunities there. And for example, by partnering with the payment gateways, we actually take back some fees of all the charges that are happening. It's kind of an e-commerce inside of the space. And also, our broader vision is to become a workspace management platform in a whole bigger domain. So like tech parks, business parks, even corporate environments. We have corporates actually asking for the solution.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Miro. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the pitches for Betapitch Global 2016. The way we're going to do this, first of all, we're going to announce the overall winner. Who the person of the team, who the judges have recognized as the champion of Betapitch 2016. After that, we're going to have a jury member give a short speech about that, and then we're going to go through the individual prizes, and jury members are going to say a few words for each of them and award them their prizes. All right, are we ready? Startups, are you all nervous? You should be. Okay. The overall winner for Betapitch Global 2016 is Horde. Make some noise.
So, first of all, congratulations. I would love to tell you that our decision was very difficult, but it wasn't. Now you're going to feel some repercussions of that. We made you the winner of this competition because it was clear you are VC ready, you know what you're doing, and we definitely believe in your concept. However, we also think that with respect to prices, there are other startups here that can make more out of them. So your grand prize tonight is this beautiful trophy and some free drinks at the bar and some peanuts. Enjoy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call bittersweet. Okay, so now we're going to go through the individual prizes and which startup gets the prizes, and I'm assuming that the judges will explain why they've chosen it and the prizes. So next up, the ticket to React conferences, Nordic Adventures.
So, well, we were really amazed with the idea of Nordic Adventures, and I guess, spent like half an hour dreaming about our future adventures to the Nordic part of the world. But we also heard your cry for an IT expert, like a chief technology officer. So that's why you received the conference ticket to Reactive conference.
And the next prize is for, from memory, 3 months of co-working in Tech Code, who have places, co-working and incubator services who have spaces, as you'd call them, all over the globe. The winner of that is Viable Report. Apparently, I'm to make a comment on this, so we've given you the space because I think that you'll make great use of spaces. Yes, you're very good. You'll make viable usage of the spaces, so congratulations. Okay. And coming up next, the prize is tickets to the Web Summit conference. The winner of that one is OpenTech from China.
So congratulations on winning. We're all incredibly impressed with the technology. It feels like the kind of thing we're all going to be using in the future. It feels very, very different. Of course, being far in the future, you're going to need loads of partners to work with, loads of investors, and you're going to need to meet loads of people, and where better than Web Summit to do that. Congratulations again.
Alrighty. Now the next person, I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 tickets, they'll figure it out. You're going to be boarding a plane, flying their way to, yes, well guessed. Thank you. You're going to be flying all the way to Silicon Valley, and that will be Hazala. Up, here they are. Yeah! Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Here's your prize. So we really thought about giving you this prize, and Thomas and I thought about that we will do some introductions for you. So I, from the past, know Pierre Omidyar quite well. So I'll introduce you to the Omidyar Foundation and some other foundations I know in the US, and we should, if you want, talk also about, I started a non-profit here in Germany that's very similar to what you do, so we should exchange some ideas. And Thomas has some intros for you as well.
So yeah, we will pitch in, and I hope everyone in the room also will pitch in with some intros to the Gates Foundation and Kiva and many others. And I think just 2 months after the Arab Spring, I spent a week coaching Egyptian startups in Cairo. It was the most mind-boggling experience of my life, the passion and the energy of the young people at that time. So I think this is an amazing example of, it could be that the young people couldn't fix government and democracy yet, but the young people can fix it one startup at a time to really grow a new world and really empower young people to do amazing stuff. So I hope everyone in the room will chip in and do the best to support you guys. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations. Woo, and the next one is cold hard cash, which is neither cold or hard. It's anyway. The winner of €5,000 IT for Equality. Here we go.
Hey. Congratulations. So, unfortunately, you're still here. I thought I could use it all at the bar, but here's the money. So we really thought, we really liked your idea. We discussed it a lot and think there's still things you have to go down, a path to go down. But we really want to see this money going into the product. And I think it's a cool thing going from 1.0 wheelchairs to 2.0 wheelchairs. And hopefully we can provide a little support along that way. But also, I think Deutsche Telekom and other corporates we talked to today are really big into the IoT space. And we would really see connected wheelchairs and connected solutions coming more. And so we would like to support you there as well. And yeah, congratulations and great product.
And finally, the last prize in the suite of prizes is a 6 months membership in Betahaus brought to you by Holvi. And the winner of that is Office R&D.
So just to clarify, there are two prizes. There's a entrepreneurship package from Holvi and a 6 months from Betahaus. And come on the stage. I'd love to give it to you. So congratulations, Office R&D. Here you go. And so for the 6 months, we chose you because we know you're in Sofia, but we'd love to have you in Berlin. So when you'll be coming over, you can start from Betahaus straight away. Thank you.
Yeah, so congratulations from our side as well. We wanted to support you with a good starting package to found your company in Germany, get 6 months at Betahaus, and then get one-on-one tips on how to actually do the taxes and financial part, and get you a business banking account from the get-go. So hoping to see that chaos from working space is going away little by little, starting from Berlin soon. Congrats.
All right, so maybe before, that's basically everything.